Detached from her train, Green Arrow hurries back through Exeter Station. There's no time to lose. Jim Sarnie's droll humour can't disguise their plight.
I'd like to buy some coal, sir. Very good quality stuff.
Time that should have been spent servicing the engine and rebuilding the fire is wasted carting bags of coal along the platform. At least there's no shortage of water, though whether it came from the sky or the standpipe is anyone's guess. Time for Green Arrow to resume her place at the head of the train, which has been shortened by one coach to give them a 350-ton trailing load. She'll leave Exeter 6 minutes late, but fate has more tricks to play on them yet. The Leeds Plymouth HST is running 50 minutes late and is likely to cause knock-on problems for the Valiant steam loco. As usual, when people are in a hurry, more haste equals less speed, and the coupling of the engine to the train will give rise to some anxiety a few miles further on, when the train crew will have to cope with the consequences of a leaking brake pipe.
Colin's now attempting to leave. Unfortunately, the weather's not in our favour, so he's having difficulty at the moment in getting the wheels to grip. Just put the feed on, put more water in the boiler.
Evidence of the kind of weather they can expect during the afternoon is now all around them in the flooded fields, and just to make their happiness complete, the traction inspectors noticed the state of the tide.
As you can see, it looks like the tide is coming in. And if we're very lucky, Mr. Parry might get wet.
Now, the reason why Colin might get wet is waiting just around the corner. He'll be on the seaward side. No wonder GWR engines will right-hand drive. For now, though, Green Arrow is passing the calmer waters of the River Exe estuary. With the water looking perilously close, the crew's attention is now on another problem. The power's off by Cockwood Harbour, and in a few moments they'll need to brake for the scheduled parking stop at Dawlish Warren, which is where that late-running HST will squeeze past them. But as they prepare to slow down, all eyes are on the brake pressure gauge.
Yeah, we're doing all right. We've got a little problem with the brake at the moment, but we'll go and sort it out when we stop. Well, for some reason, they may not have connected the train properly to the engine, and we're losing. The engine's not able to maintain the brake. It's supposed to maintain it at 21 inches of vacuum, the needle you can see on your left. See the left-hand side needle, it's dropping on its own. We shouldn't do that. So we reckon we may have a leak on the train.
They still don't know that the train from Leeds to Plymouth is out of its path, and that on the long track sections of South Devon it could well cause them a series of signal checks right where they don't need them. At least the 5-minute stand at Dawlish Warren will give them a bit more time to work on the fire.
Just like everything else, the harder you work the loco, the more fuel you're going to use.
The traction inspector has now sprung into action. His leadership will be a key factor in getting them over Dainton Bank, which pitches briefly to 1 in 36, requiring a volcanic boiler output. The passage of the late-running train hasn't escaped Brian Dudley Ward's attention. Like all the EWS traction inspectors, very little escapes his notice, and as they leave the storm-swept holiday village, he's already thinking about those signals. They get their first sight of the open sea.
Between here and Plymouth is 60 miles an hour. So we should technically be able to do it at the same time as an HST.
This HST, to be precise. Green Arrow's 60-mile-an-hour maximum is the same as the line speed, so the steam engine is already in Newton Abbot, keeping pace as the train from Leeds climbs Dainton Bank.
trains are well in front of us. They might hold us back, so watch what you're doing.
They might hold us back. Remember what the man said.
About 2 miles, then it's a climb, a very short climb, we're running 45. So it's short, so it's steep, and it ends up in a tunnel. When we go over the top, we drop down all the way into top there. Through top there, then we climb up another bank. Alright, now what you do? We'll find out. Should be alright.
You may have heard the traction inspector trying to explain that Dainton's summit is actually inside the tunnel. Their speed has fallen from 47 to 21 miles an hour in less than 2 miles. Ray Towell is visibly moved by the performance of the engine and the trio of railwaymen who fought to get her this far. But celebrations are premature. Totnes is the one place they do not want to find a red signal. The station is right at the foot of the longest bank, Rattery.
We got another one to go up yet. Very good.
The crew are cheerful, but their day has hardly been glamorous. Steam is hard work, dirty work, and steam engines can be very unforgiving at times.
It is totally over-glamorised today. The romance of steam. There was no romance with steam engines when they were working for real. There just wasn't. Most of them were dripping in oil and coal dust and filthy dirty. I remember riding down on the footplate of a Black 5 on a semi-fast from Marylebone to Nottingham, and the engine failed at Rugby, and it was taken off the train, put in a siding. Another engine was sent for, which took 2 hours to arrive, with a train full of people, and it was a Class 9F, and away we went again. And this Black 5 was cut up for scrap in Rugby station yard, and so we set off on a semi-fast train with it, and it got cut up for scrap before it ever got to Nottingham. You know, those were the sad days of steam.
And these are the happy moments. At Totnes, Green Arrow meets its second 14XX of the day, and Ray Towell records this wonderful little moment of history. But then, the brakes.
Just right on the bank.
A dead stand at the foot of Rattery Bank on a foul day.
We didn't need this, especially this weather. See what I mean? And we've got a bank to climb now. Just let her help herself. Well, we come to a stand at a very bad spot. So now we're having to let the engine do its own thing. If we try and force it, then we'll get ourselves in a lot of trouble. So the engine's going to have to do it, help itself, and we'll get there. Have no fear, we will get there. All right, Cole? Yeah.
As they approach Marley Tunnel near the summit, they know the V2 has won the Battle of Devon. From here, it's all downhill to Plymouth. After all the problems, they're just 12 minutes late, and the whole of that delay was because they were being balked by the late-running high-speed train. In the war, when V2 locos took 20 coach loads, many a wise engineman rated these maids-of-all-work as Gresley's finest design, and few people at Plymouth would have argued. The EWS crew had clearly done a brilliant job. Ray Towell was full of praise for the way they'd handled Green Arrow on the greasy rails at Rattery. They'd been calm in a crisis, allowing the engine to find its way up the bank when any temptation to fiddle around with the controls would have been disastrous.
Beautiful. The two trains that went in front of us from Dawlish Warren, because the sections along after Newton Abbot, they haven't got enough time to clear. So we always catch trains out of there, even with the post office train. So it's always going to happen. The only way you're going to get away with it is hold back for 5-10 minutes, but because you can't do that. So you're going to catch one up, and the sections are so long. You've got no choice. And I knew what was going to happen before we ever got there. I mean, we got over Dayton all right, but because it's only 55 mile an hour from Dayton, the top of the bank, into Totnes, but nearly always, a situation like that, we'll always catch something up and you'll get stopped.
She performs well. I mean, she performs as good, or if not better, than the A4, the A4 Gresley. The way she handles, I mean, she's a character on herself. This is the first time I've ever driven this particular type of Green Arrow, but I have driven the A4, which is St Nigel Gresley. I've had a firing turn on the A4, which is the other one, which is Union South Africa. And yeah, it's a love. It's great. And the character, I mean, you talk to her and she talks to you back. 3 cylinders. I mean, sometimes she argues, sometimes she doesn't. But it's always the driver that wins the argument.
These things wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people that are interested in preserving them, and they spend a lot of time in their own time. They don't get paid for it. All volunteers. Most of it is all volunteers. This particular engine, I believe, belongs to the National Railway Museum. So, because that's all part of the country's heritage. But all the other preserved engines, it's all done by 80% volunteers, and they don't get a payment and nothing. They do it because they love doing it. And I suppose, all right, I get paid to do it, but my governor said to me the other day, he said, you do it for nothing, but I'm not so sure that I would do it for nothing, but on the other hand, paid, maybe I might.
Someone tells me, not that you'd admit it, that you're the best driver in Britain for this type of machine. How would you respond to that?
Here, oi, come here. Would you agree that I'm the best driver in Britain for this type of machine? There's your answer.